The month of March is fantastic for professional wrestling. How about this? We got AEW Revolution coming up. I really believe that the main event should be CM Punk against MJF. Those two going back and forth, especially the go-home show in Jacksonville, that was pretty special. Here's CM Punk coming out there trying to find out what's on the mind of MJF. They have an embrace. They have a conversation. They have an embrace. And MJF kicks CM Punk in the balls. And then all of a sudden, you see CM Punk busted open. All of a sudden, his blood from his forehead just flowing like a river. And they put the dog collar on him and they hang him. Shawn Spears hangs him, which was just amazing television. Haven't seen anything like that in about 25 years. On television, haven't seen that in a long time. It's old school territory booking from Tony Khan, from CM Punk, from MJF. I haven't seen anything quite like that. That kind of blood, the dog collar, everything else, since maybe the late 80s. So I just think that that should be the main event for Revolution. And then Tony Khan makes that big announcement that he is the owner for Ring of Honor. I think it's a smart move, and here's why. He's able to get the Ring of Honor library. There's so much great wrestling, man. Stuff I paid for in Chicago to be able to see that stuff live, and that's on film. It's great that he owns it. And it's great that he's able to have some of that old footage and some of the current footage for Ring of Honor as well. Now, here's the question. Ring of Honor doesn't have any wrestlers under contract currently. But what about the wrestlers that just left the company? Will they be part of AEW? The one mistake that we saw from WWE is that they owned WCW and couldn't do anything with it. They couldn't get the wrestlers into the WWE and get them integrated into the company. And then you remember the National Wrestling Alliance. They owned Mid-South. They owned the UWF at the time. And they fumbled it. And UWF had so many great stars, including Rick Steiner, Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert. They also had Sting. They got that right. But there's a number of things where the National Wrestling Alliance had some talent there from the UWF, and when they bought UWF, they didn't do it right. They dropped the ball. So when you have one organization go into the other, if you got their talent, use their talent, or make sure that the other company has some kind of teeth to it. So I look forward to seeing how that all works. But the number one thing, Tony Khan has got the library for Ring of Honor. That's pretty cool. Vince McMahon got a chance to talk to Pat Mcafee on the Pat Mcafee Show. A very interesting conversation between those two. The thing that resonated with me the most is that Vince McMahon doesn't care about what you and I think on the internet. Doesn't care about what you and I think as far as the day-to-day booking, the Raw, the SmackDown, how we say the shows in Saudi Arabia suck. He doesn't care about that because he feels like it's a myopic view from us, even though we are the customers, right? It's not just us. It's the paying customers. It's those that consume the product, and I guess we don't have a voice. Vince McMahon says, oh, I'm not out of touch. Everything is fine. You know, we feel like I'm having fun every day going to work. That guy's not leaving the company anytime soon. They may sell the company, but he's not leaving anytime soon. He still has fun being able to manipulate what happens in the back with the WWE. And, of course, he's a CEO. He can do that, right? But just remember, Vince McMahon couldn't care less about what you and I think about the company. And guess what? The ratings for Raw and SmackDown are pretty solid. And as far as the money that they make plenty of money, hand over fist. Even during a pandemic, they became billionaires again. So it really doesn't matter. I want to get your thoughts, though, about AEW Revolution. I want to get your thoughts on CM Punk and MJF. And also, if you got a chance to watch on YouTube the interview with Vince McMahon and Pat Mcafee, what did you think? All I know is that Vince McMahon is still Vince McMahon. He hasn't changed at all. He's going to do what he thinks is best for the company. And there was one other thing that stood out. He said he was, in so many words, disappointed with his family. You know, when you think, like, if Vince ever retires, which will never happen, but if he's going to pass along, he says he's pretty disappointed in his family. That means Triple H and Shane and Stephanie and his wife. Disappointed. I guess his family doesn't live up to his business standards. Boy, that says a lot about the infrastructure of the WWE.